Hi lovely people, I'm back again. I decided this time I needed to get outside, actually, get away from my kids because they're running around the house like crazy little people right now, and I wanted to do my July TBR. We're past mid-July at this point, but I figured I might as well talk about all of the books I'm reading in July, and maybe just say, oh, if I finished it or not. I'll get started. So I began this whole series with the classics, the 20 classics, and it was a summer reading list that was put out. And so on that was Frankenstein, which I read, liked, and I also posted a blog about Mary Shelley's Frankenstein and my thoughts on it. So if you're interested, go and watch that. Another classic that I now am picking up to read from July into August, because I do think it's going to take me a little bit longer because it's just a longer book, is Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. I have gotten a few other books on that list that I'm really, really excited about. I just got Bram Stoker's Dracula. I think it was the Penguin English Library edition, which is a very pretty book. I'm also collecting a few others in that English Library edition as well. I've gotten Tess of the Dubervilles, and I've gotten Away from the Madding Crowd, so I'm excited to read those. And I've also got Wind in the Willows coming, but it's not in that edition. I think it's in a Penguin edition, and I think it's like a little black book edition, similar to the Black Spine books. So anyway, I am excited about those. So I am getting a lot of classics, and then I'll be working on Great Expectations next. Stuff that I was reading this month was Heir of Fire. It is part of the Throne of Glass series. I decided last month to go ahead and re-listen to Throne of Glass. I am listening to those. I primarily am listening to them through Libby. They have the first 3 books through my library, so I went ahead and got those. I am enjoying that a lot. When I first did my first listen through of the Throne of Glass series, I really wasn't paying attention to that much stuff, and I think I actually dropped it within the first 2 books. Like, I finished the second book, and I just didn't pick it up again. And I'm not really sure why, because it's a really fun series. So I picked up A Court of Thorns and Roses, that entire series, last year, read through all of that. I just devoured it, and decided that, maybe I'll try out Crescent City. I'm not sure if I'm going to like that. I ended up really liking Crescent City a lot. And so I knew that the Throne of Glass books were also in the Sarah J. Maas universe, and so I decided to go back and give it another listen through. And so now I am in Heir of Fire. I am picking up a lot of stuff that is going on in the book that I missed before, and a lot of things within the other books in the Maas universe are kind of clicking into place. So it's kind of those fun... It's becoming like a fun little puzzle to kind of put together, and I'm probably going to be one of those weird conspiracy Sarah J. Maas universe people, so do not be shocked if I start making vlogs just about that, because it's insane, it's fun, and it's just silly. The whole thing is just silly, and it's just a lot of fun, and I'm enjoying it so much. So yeah, Heir of Fire, and then I actually have to go to Audible to get the last 3, or is it 4, in the Throne of Glass series. So I will actually be having to either purchase or use credits, because I guess they have an exclusive deal with Sarah now, which is kind of a bummer, because getting them through the library system was so nice. But yeah, so that's where I am on that. Another book that I have on my listening is Once Upon a Broken Heart, also through the library. I got that through Libby, and I am really excited for that one. It's got a really interesting premise. The girl at the beginning of the story, her father was the owner of a curiosity shop, and she has been working at this curiosity shop, and she, believes in magic. Her mother told her stories about magic and stuff like that, and then she gets involved with this guy named Jack, who is the Prince of Hearts, and he is cursed or fated or something like that. But we will end up learning more about, I'm sure, the fates and the curses and all of that stuff, and if there are other characters that are also considered fates in this universe. So I'm kind of excited for that one. There was something that came up in Libby which I thought was really interesting. They called it the Big Library Read, and they want everyone to read this book before the 27th of the month, and then participate in, I think maybe there's some kind of a live cast, or there's going to be like a commentary period of time or something like that. But it's like a lot of social media involvement around this, so I thought that sounded really interesting. So I went ahead and picked up the book because it was completely free to just download, and they had unlimited copies of it, and it's called The Girl in His Shadow, which is about a girl, and I think this is like early London times, might be pre-Victorian. It's about a doctor raising this girl, and she becomes interested in also practicing medicine as well, but at the time it was not allowed for women to practice medicine legally, and so they kind of have to keep this all under wraps that she's even doing this. So it kind of sounds like an interesting story to me. So I've just picked that one up. I'm in it, I don't know, maybe like 20 pages or so, and it's interesting so far. It hasn't lost me yet, so I think I'm gonna get through that one okay. And it's a short book. It's not a very long book at all. I think I was even like 20% through it, just going through like the 20 pages I've read, and it's on Kindle. So if you get it through Libby, you can get it on your Kindle. Easy, and I think it'd just be fun to participate in the social media aspect of that. So we'll try that out, and maybe I'll do a little vlog on it or something. It'll be fun. The next book, so I'm trying to do like 5 books in a month, and I gotta have my spice. I'm sorry, I'm one of those girls. I gotta have my smut, I gotta have my spice, and I just enjoy it. I'm sorry, I love it, and I like trying out all kinds of different spice. So I picked up, I've heard about the Bad Boys of the Zodiac or something like that. It sounds so ridiculous. It sounded so ridiculous I had to pick it up. So what I decided to do was start with the first book, which I think is actually a prequel, called Dark Fae. It's about a girl who is a vampire. Her brother has been killed. The only clues that she has is that he went to this school, and he was killed by one of the 4 kings of the school, and so she has to go, and she gets involved with the 4 kings and tries to find out who actually killed her brother. So there's this mystery plot along with the smut. So I'm in it for the smut. I'm really not in it for the plot at all. So the plot can be terrible, and if it's terrible, I will let you know in the next video. But I'm almost done with that, like pretty close to being done with that one. And that is kind of my plans for this July, and I think I will finish everything no problem. But yeah, I think that's about that. I wanted to keep this really short today because the next video I plan on being a little bit longer, kind of wrap up what I finished this month. I think I may actually pick up maybe another 1 or 2 books if I finish early, and I'll let you guys know if I do that. So anyway, that's my July TBR. Please share what you're reading this month, because I think I'd be really interested. BookTube has always given me the best recommendations, and I have found some of the books that I have really, really loved just from watching other BookTube, and that's really why I wanted to do this. Another reason is I've noticed that a lot of other BookTube people, they always buy the actual book, or they're provided the book, I think, by, the physical copy of the book by the publishers, which is great. That's fabulous. But not all of us have access to that. Not all of us are able to just buy a brand new book. Like, every other week, every week, you know, however often. A lot of people can't do these book hauls, and that's totally fine. I thrift, man. I have to thrift my books. I don't want to spend a bunch of money on my books. And also, I want to get things through the library as well. If I can get it through the library, I'm going to do that instead of having that physical book. I also like my Kindle. My Kindle is probably my largest library, just having that. And I love digital copies. I love a physical book. Do not get me wrong. I love a physical book. But one of the things is I do not have a bookshelf right now. We are doing construction on our current house, and one of the things that will be put in my office is a, you know, like, I think I'm going to do an IKEA build-in and put a lot of bookshelves in there. So once I do have bookshelves, I will be putting lots and lots of books on my bookshelf. And I'm totally excited for that. But for right now, nah, I'm not doing that. I am getting things through the library, through the phone, audio books, or, you know, Kindle, that kind of thing. Or, you know, even just buying, you know, plain old paperbacks, you know, paperback editions. Not going to really worry about it. But I do think collecting these penguin black ones, I think that's the way to go with these classics. So I think they're going to look really nice all lined up on the shelf once I'm done. So that'll be really fun. I think that's it then. And you have a wonderful day. Enjoy your books. Tell me what you're reading. Have a great day. Bye.